Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be comparing a tuning box versus a custom ECU tune. Behind us we've got this B9 RS4, so we're going to get it onto the dyno and show you the differences between the two, so let's go. Right guys, so we've collected all the dyno data that we need on the RS4 now. When the car came in, it had the tuning box installed, running its race map, and the car made 495 brake horsepower and 560 foot-pound of torque, which is a decent increase. It's about 40 brake horsepower and 60 foot-pound gain over stock. But with the tuning boxes, it's not like they can make the power. It's not the amount of power that they make, it's how they make the power. So the tuning boxes are tricking the engine's sensors to think the ECU's basically reading a different value to what it is. So with this, the tuning boxes increase the boost. The ECU doesn't really know why the boost is going up. So the fueling stays stock for stock boost pressure, which creates a load of heat, and then the knock sensors are going crazy because the car's too lean. But like on the first run, they'll generally make a decent amount of power. As soon as the engine starts to heat up, all these things seem to start to get worse, because when the engine gets hotter, knock increases and then you start losing more power because the ECU doesn't know how to control what's actually happening. So you can see here, the dotted line is stock, and then the thin line is the tuning box. So from 2000 RPM to 4000 RPM, you can see that the torque is oscillating quite a lot, and that's because the ECU is opening and closing the throttle plate, because it's seeing an overboost scenario. So it's using the throttle plate to lower the boost, to try and regulate the boost basically, and then once it gets further up it starts to sort itself out a little bit. But throughout the run it's pulling 5 or 6 degrees of ignition timing, and the car is lean for the amount of boost that it's running. So although it made 495 brake horsepower on that specific run, it's not the safe way to do it. It'd be alright if you're just pottering around in the street and giving it a little bit of power here and there, but under a lot of hard load that could potentially cause issues later on down the line. So we removed the tuning box, did one of our custom stage 1 ECU and TCU calibrations, and we're now making 520 brake horsepower and 590 foot-pound of torque. So we've gained an extra 30 foot-pound of torque over the tuning box and an extra 20 brake horsepower at peak. But the peak numbers are only a little bit of why it's better to tune the actual car's ECU. So from 2000 to 7000 RPM, the throttle is wide open, no torque intervention, the ECU is happy. So you can see that the torque curve is now a lot cleaner, and because we're running a richer lambda now, the actual combustion temps are cooler, so the knock has reduced substantially. So we're only seeing like 2 degrees max on every cylinder, which is a lot better than 6, 7 when it were on the tuning box. But the main thing for me is the ECU's got a reported torque. So the ECU is basically scaled to say that at this airflow, the ECU calculates that to be 500 Newton meters to say. The gearbox, because it's got an automatic transmission, the gearbox uses that torque from the ECU to basically calculate what it needs to do to make the gearbox work properly. And with the tuning box, the torque's gone up, but the ECU torque hasn't gone up because it doesn't know it's changed. So the physical torque of the engine is increased, but the ECU torque has not, which can cause problems for the gearboxes. And like with the dual clutch transmissions, that can cause clutch slip, and it's just not good for the car at all. So now we're requesting 800 Newton meters, and the actual reported torque in the ECU is close to what the car's actually producing in real life. So the gearbox is going to work seamlessly compared to before. So it's making more power all the way through. The throttle's wide open, boost control's perfect. The knock retard's a lot less, and the fueling's a lot richer. The whole driveline is now safer. So yeah, that's the car done. I'm going to take it out for a little test drive, make sure everything's doing what it should be doing, and then the customer can have it back. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the customer thinks to it, driving it back to back. So yeah, we'll take it out for a little ride and then we'll go from there. So there we go guys, we've been out in the RS4, it's performing exactly how it should and the car's ready to go back to the customer. You've seen the differences between the tuning box and the custom ECU calibrations. If you've got any more questions, leave them down in the comments below. As always guys, if you like this video, make sure you've liked, subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one.